Hi, I'm Sandy Schroeck for LBR Educates, and today we're going to create an armature that becomes a base for a hedge style design. And it really embraces the power of stems that are going to increase your perceived value. To create this design, we're actually taking a birch branch, and you come and you'll figure out how tall you want it to be, and then we can remove some of the pieces, and so you can see that's what I did. The cut end is at the top, and by the time you put flowers in, that's going to be covered. And then I used the branches and had them go both ways to be able to create that armature structure. To bind it in the corner here, I'm using the bind wire, and this is the brown bind wire, and I've folded it over 4 times, and then I'm going to just come in, and when I bring that bind in, I'll cross those ends of that, and then when I twist, the energy from that twist goes in and tightens that up. If you just pull them straight and try to twist, the energy from that twist goes out and you don't get a really tight bind. And so that is really critical. And with it being exposed mechanics, we want to make sure that they're the same on both sides. So let's get started with this design. I've got the Art Deco rose, and you can see now there's roses that are garden-like appearance that have a really, really high petal count. And this Art Deco is just fabulous. And it opens up and it will hold, and so that's the difference between some of those newer varieties. They have a high petal count, and it'll be a larger head, and it'll hold. Just kind of going back and forth on this and coming in here. For the base, I'm using a Midnight foam, and that's the foam from Smithers Oasis. It is a biodegradable foam. It's that black in color, and so that it'll kind of disappear as a shadow at the base. So next I am going to put in a couple of base foliages, and so this is just a Kunti palm I'm going to use to extend that base so that the proportion of this design comes together and get a little bit of depth in through the base. All right, so next we're going to go to our next floral material, and I've got a stock here. So just adding a line flower for a little bit more visual interest. Making sure to get my insertions in nice and deep. And the foam does hold a lot of water, but it also fights the transpiration. It's going to go from the top first. So your target area for your insertions is really within 1 inch of the bottom of the container, because that's really in the foam. That's going to be the last place that the water is in that composition. And so if you think that your customers may never add water, to just make sure that they have a great long-lasting arrangement, if you get that insertion all the way down into that target area, you're going to have a great, happy consumer. Next, I'm using the blue chrysanthemums. It's another new variety that the breeders have developed. So it's a natural blue color, and it just adds a lot of visual interest. And just even being in that chrysanthemum family, just really embracing all of the different long-lasting materials. To a customer, the arrangement lasts as long as the last flower that dies. So I really like to use a variety of basic materials and try to show them in a little bit more unique ways. And so these are, you know, carnations, roses, chrysanthemums, dianthus, and but shown creatively so that it does draw interest. All right, so there you can see our structure, and then we're just gonna come in and finish it with some basing. And I'm just taking the variegated aspidistra, and you come in, and if you just pop your fingernail in and you rip up, you can rip those leaves so that you can kind of change the scale and proportion of them. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of a cut and take those tips and curl them around and just poke them through. And so you can see there that it kind of creates a little bit of a ribbon effect. And we'll just do one more here. And so I've prepared a few more of those. And so we're just gonna come in now and finish off that base just simply with those aspidistra leaves, and have our midnight foam just kind of disappears. So I've got 3 on each side, so that was 6 of those aspidistra leaves, and you can see how it becomes a complete design. So this is our hedge design, embracing the power of stems and really increasing that perceived value, taking everyday flowers and doing extraordinary things. I'm Sandy Schroeck, and I hope I inspired you to create some fabulous florals.